Mr. President, members of the Senate, I rise today to discuss a development that should concern all of us. It is a discussion that we have had recently, and that is the decline in civility in our political discourse here in Georgia and across the nation. I think my colleagues would agree that I am, and I will remain, a vigorous advocate for my constituents and their interests. There is a difference, however, in vigorously and zealously advocating for your position and the people you represent and descending into personal attacks and demonization of your opponents. Our system of government, our system of representative government depends on us to separate our disagreements about policy and even fundamental views about the role of government from a view that our opponents are bad people or somehow illegitimate representatives of the people who elected them. We have seen this at the national level for some time now, and it has deeply harmed governance at the federal level. As a result, we've seen government shutdowns and fiscal cliffs, even while we've had men and women in uniform fighting overseas. We've seen the full faith and credit of the United States called into question, and we've seen political paralysis in dealing with issues of great importance to the American people. Now I fear that the same cancer has arrived in our politics here in Georgia and in Atlanta. Last week, some of you may have seen the mayor of Atlanta use an appearance before the Atlanta Press Club launch a personal attack in my direction about legislation I have before this body to ban Park Atlanta and similar third-party, predatory, for-profit enforcement of parking regulations. The mayor can defend Park Atlanta or third-party parking enforcement if he wants to. I happen to disagree. But the one thing I want to make sure that we understand this morning is that I can assure you, my colleagues, that that sort of rhetoric will not deter me, and I hope it will not deter you from doing the people's business. I will continue to speak truth to power at any time I see fit. I will continue to fight for the people who sent me down here. I'm going to give you a little bit of philosophy from Old Man Simpson. Old Man Simpson was the president of the senior high-rise down there on Ashby Street. And I was trying to get his support about 20 years ago to come down here to represent my folk. Old Man Simpson. He said to me, he said, Fort, don't go down there being quiet. Don't go down there representing somebody else but your constituents. I have never, from that day until this very day, forgotten what Old Man Simpson had to say to me. I'm going to continue to fight for the Mr. Simpsons. I will continue to fight for people and neighborhoods. And that's why we have a chance to put a stop to Park Atlanta's abuses that harm citizens and small businesses and prevent that model of government revenue seeking from spreading across the state by passing my proposed constitutional amendment and allowing our citizens to vote on it this fall. Unfortunately, we had another example of the decline of political discourse here in the building last week. The senator from the 29th has made reference to it. He has done a masterful job of outlining the issues. And I want to say that Senator McCoon, the senator from the 29th, and I don't agree on many issues, but both are here in this Capitol to represent the people who sent us down here and to advocate for what we believe their interests are, and that is as it should be. The Speaker's attorney was out of line and certainly called for him to apologize publicly to our colleague. And I also call on him to take the honorable course and resign his position in the Speaker's office, and should he not do so, for the Speaker to relieve him of his duties forthwith. The time for doing the people's business as the primary and first consideration of government, that time has come. So be it. I retire from the well.